In commerce, transferring value efficiently is crucial, especially for large or distant transactions. Negotiable instruments, like promissory notes and checks, serve as substitutes for cash, backed by law, to ensure smooth business operations. A promissory note is a written promise by one party to pay another a specific sum, either on demand or at a set time. A check is a written order from an account holder to a bank, instructing payment to a third party. For an instrument to be negotiable, it must be written, signed, promise a fixed sum, be payable on demand, or at a definite time, and be payable to order or bearer. These requirements, set by the Uniform Commercial Code, ensure clarity and easy transfer. The person in possession of such an instrument is called a holder, who can enforce payment. However, a regular holder is subject to the same defenses as the original payee. If there's a problem with the transaction, payment can be refused. To encourage trust and circulation, the law offers a special status, the holder in due course, or HDC. An HDC enjoys greater protection and is less vulnerable to disputes over the original transaction. This legal framework underpins countless business deals, making negotiable instruments a foundation of modern commerce. Understanding these basics is the first step to grasping the power and protection of the holder in due course. A holder in due course, or HDC, is a holder who meets strict legal standards and gains powerful protection. To become an HDC, three main requirements must be met: taking the instrument for value, in good faith, and without notice of problems. For value means the holder gave something of economic value, like payment, services, or settling a debt, in exchange for the instrument. Taking an instrument as a gift or inheritance doesn't count as value. Good faith means acting honestly and following reasonable commercial standards. If a deal seems suspicious or the price is too good to be true, good faith may be questioned. The holder must also have no notice that the instrument is overdue, dishonored, altered, or subject to any claim or defense. Any obvious signs of forgery or irregularity disqualify HDC status. These requirements ensure only innocent parties receive HDC protection. Meeting all three is essential for gaining the legal shield that sets HDCs apart. This status is what makes negotiable instruments so reliable in business. The main advantage of HDC status is immunity from most personal defenses. Legal reasons tied to the original transaction, like breach of contract or fraud in the inducement. An ordinary holder could lose payment if the original deal went wrong, but an HDC is protected. For example, if a finance company buys a promissory note in good faith and without notice of problems, it can collect payment even if the original service was faulty. The maker must pay the HDC and then pursue the original payee separately. The shelter rule extends HDC rights to those who acquire the instrument from an HDC, even if they don't meet all requirements themselves, unless they were involved in fraud or illegality. This rule keeps negotiable instruments circulating freely and securely. HDC status gives businesses confidence to accept and transfer these instruments, knowing their right to payment is protected. This legal certainty is vital for credit, financing, and everyday transactions. The HDC doctrine is a cornerstone of commercial trust. By cutting off most personal defenses, it ensures negotiable instruments function almost like cash. This protection is what keeps commerce moving. Understanding these rights is key for anyone dealing with checks or promissory notes. The law's design is to keep business flowing smoothly. HDC protection is strong but not absolute. Some defenses, called real defenses, can be used against anyone, even an HDC. Real defenses include forgery, fraud in the execution, material alteration, discharge in bankruptcy, infancy, and illegality that makes the instrument void. For example, if a signature is forged or someone is tricked into signing a note without knowing what it is, the instrument is void, even for an HDC. If a promissory note is issued for an illegal purpose, like a gambling debt in a state where it's void, no one can enforce it. Personal defenses, like breach of contract or non-delivery, only work against ordinary holders, not HDCs. The distinction between real and personal defenses defines the true power and limits of HDC status. Real defenses protect fundamental fairness, while HDC rules protect commercial certainty. Knowing these limits is crucial for anyone relying on negotiable instruments. The law balances justice and commerce through these carefully drawn lines. Real-world cases show how HDC status works in practice. In Bucci v. Paulick, a contractor's promissory note was transferred to Bucci, an attorney, as payment for legal fees. When the contractor failed to finish the job, the original payer refused to pay, but the court ruled Bucci was an HDC and entitled to payment. Personal defenses didn't apply. In Bank of Delaware v. NMD Realty, a bank enforced a promissory note with a waiver clause against an endorser, thanks to its HDC status. The court upheld the waiver, reinforcing the bank's right to collect without extra notice. In National Bank v. Refrigerated Transport, a bank allowed a supplier to withdraw funds from deposited checks before they cleared. When the payer stopped payment due to a dispute, the court found the bank was an HDC and entitled to payment, despite the underlying conflict. These cases highlight the robust protection HDCs enjoy. Whether an individual or a bank, meeting the HDC requirements secures payment rights. Courts consistently uphold these protections to keep negotiable instruments reliable. The HDC doctrine is tested and proven in real business disputes. Its principles are essential for commercial stability. The holder in due course doctrine is a pillar of modern commerce, making negotiable instruments nearly as good as cash. It enables businesses to sell notes or checks for immediate cash, fueling liquidity and growth. HDC rules create a reliable secondary market for commercial paper. For business owners, understanding HDC status is vital for risk management and payment security. When accepting or issuing negotiable instruments, knowing the rules helps avoid costly mistakes. The doctrine balances the interests of individual parties and the needs of the marketplace. It protects innocent purchasers while encouraging clear, honest transactions. The law's approach ensures trust, credit, and economic activity thrive. Landmark cases continue to shape how HDC rules are applied today. For anyone in business or law, mastering the HDC concept is essential. The doctrine's legacy is a dynamic, trustworthy commercial system.